Good morning, gamers and gentlemen. Today we received a new patch to the finals, that being 1.5.5, with some great changes. We're seeing a change to ranked matchmaking, we're seeing a nerf to medium, with a promise of more on the way. So it's safe to say that this patch features a lot of changes that we've been looking for since the nuke nerf recently, where they for some reason left out medium out of the patch notes almost completely. But this patch is almost only honing down on medium, so we're going to take a look at these specific patch notes, and we're also going to take a look at the new store, because some of these new skins look really cool. But anyways, without further ado, let's take a look at the patch notes and actually learn what's coming. So as I mentioned previously, it says here a note about the future. Based on your feedback and our own evaluation, we recognize that the recon sensibility for the medium build needs an overhaul, and we are working on that right now. You can look forward to that change and more in the next week's update. It appears that they're doing either weekly or bi-weekly updates by now, which I think is very good. Gives me a lot of patch note videos to make. But I'm really excited to see all of these changes in effect. They're definitely working real hard on getting the game to a good playable state. It might not be looking too hot for the finals right now, but I think that with time, we're definitely going to see a more polished product that we actually probably needed a little bit earlier. But I digress. Let's continue with the balance changes. So, another nerf to medium, or just in general, it's a nerf, but it's more of a nerf in general to reviving or a supportive playstyle, but it does hit medium as well. They have decreased the length of invulnerability applied after a revive to 0.75 seconds from 1.5. And this applies both for the defibrillator and for the revives. And if you don't know what this is talking about, is whenever you pull off a revive, you cannot take damage. It's called iframes or whatever. A lot of mediums use that to rest people in the open, and then the people in the open could just tank damage, so the mediums could use them as shields or whatever, and then they could safely walk back into cover 1.5 seconds later when this iframe was gone. So this is a great change. Super glad that they're changing it. Maybe 0.75 isn't enough. We're just going to have to wait and see if it's going to be any better down the line. As for the revolver, they decreased the amount of bullet dispersion applied when aiming down sights. I've talked about this previously. The revolver has a bloom. Yes, they fixed bloom in a previous patch a while ago now, where, you know, because for whatever reason, every single gun in the game except like the F-car had bloom now, bullet dispersion, the bullets were going everywhere when aiming down sights. The revolver, since release, has had this bloom, and it's been really frustrating. You can really tell if you just stood in the firing range and shot at the target 50 meters away, maybe 1 or 2 bullets would miss, even though you were right on target and didn't move your aim at all. So they've decreased the amount of dispersion. I don't know by how much, but they have decreased it, so that makes it a lot more accurate over range. And they've also decreased the damage fall off start range from 23 meters to 35, and the fall off end range from 40 to 50, which will give it more damage over longer ranges. This also gives us some insight into how they calculate fall off damage, because in a previous video I've said that there wasn't any fall off, but now we understand how it works. When it comes to damage fall off, there'll be a start range, and then it will go from 0 to 100, however much the amount is in damage. So it's like full damage up to 35 meters, and then after 35 meters, the damage will fall off gradually until 50 meters, where it caps out on a bottom number, and any damage you deal to a target farther away than that will be 50. This is good for many reasons. I'm just happy to get more insight into how the game works, so I can give you guys more in-depth analysis, which we're doing now. The CL40, the medium grenade launcher, now has increased player damage from 100 to 110. It wasn't super good. I can definitely agree it needed to see some changes. They gotta be careful not to overtune it though. F-car decreased damage from 25 to 26. I don't believe that this will be I'm gonna pull up this great sheet I found on Reddit. I don't believe that this will make that much of a difference in the damage per, or the TTK. Moving on though, the Guardian turret now has decreased health from 280 to 300, meaning that it was a little bit beefy. I still think that the hitbox needs some tuning, because shooting a Guardian turret out is really wonky. At the moment, I don't think the amount of health matters as much as just it has a Swiss cheese hitbox that needs some tuning. It's not just about health, it's more about the shots just going straight through. The MGL-32, which is the heavy grenade launcher, has also seen a buff from 80 damage to 83. I don't believe that will make that big of a difference either, in any sense. These are very tiny tweaks. Yeah, like it's not going to be that big of a change. We'll get the number for you since we did it for the F-car. And we have everything up right now anyways. So it's 125 damage per second. I don't think it will make that much of a difference. Moving on. The throwing knives, they also address a bug I've mentioned previously a few times now, where when you're falling or you're sprinting, so you're midair or moving around with the throwing knives and you throw, for whatever reason, they're not accurate, they have bullet dispersion. which I guess is their word for bloom, where it just goes all over the place. They've fixed that. I don't know to what degree. We can test it out in the firing range in a little bit. But yeah, so that's a pretty good change as well. I think that needed to happen. I'm super glad to see that they're listening to the community. So far, it seems that most of these, the changes are based on community feedback. These are things we've been talking about. They don't really talk to us creators. Doesn't seem like they talk too much to the community, but they're certainly listening. They're also saying that they fixed an issue where certain GPUs would sometimes crash, which I hope involves mine, because I've had that my GPU straight up crashed. And then they fixed an issue with crossplay, and more importantly, they updated matchmaking tournament and ranked tournament modes to help ensure closer matches by skill rating. Now, sadly, I don't know by how much this means. We're gonna have to play some ranked later on today on my stream, and we're gonna feel out how much this actually applies. But now we're going to take a look at the changes in the game itself. We're gonna start off by actually checking out the new store as promised. We have some really cool skins here. This costume set that actually looks hella cool. The cheese slicer I've been looking for. This is so cool. It's a skin for the dagger. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm buying this straight up. That looks so cool. And there's a reference to this cheese slicer in one of the voice lines. It's really cool to see that they added it to the game. We have this, well, it looked pretty cool. I don't know if I would buy it. I have a really cool SA1216 skin, but I like that. We have, also we have this one, a little shirt. Pretty cool stuff. But now I want to take a look. We're gonna dive into the firing range, and we're gonna see. All right, so let's start it one at a time. Obviously, we can't test the defibrillators in the firing range. We'd need to try it out with someone else, but we're gonna try out the revolver dispersion and the damage fall off first and foremost. I've been using the revolver a lot, so you can really tell that there is dispersion, or was. 50 meters, so this should be. Well, it's not perfect. Actually, I might be missing now. A little bit. Let's try again. It's not fully gone. I'm not moving my sight at all. So as you can see, it's certainly better. And then, like I said, damage fall off is better now, so definitely an improvement though. We'll try the CL40. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference, but we're here, right? Yeah, so this would not make a change against anyone. I guess lights would feel a little bit less safe, but it's not that game-changing of a difference. The Guardian turret can't really test, doesn't really matter. The F-car I'm worried about. Does that 10 less DPS make a difference? The AKM is, hold on, wait. Look something up. How much is the AKM DPS? Oh, the AKM DPS is like significantly lower. It's like 200, so we're fine. But let's fill that out. It's not like a massive change. You can feel that it's different. I still think it's a good weapon now. I don't think it's gonna go out of style, out of meta. Still good. Still good. Let's try the throwing knives bug. Yeah, it's fixed. So, I don't know, maybe both throwing knives are good now. This is really awkward to do. I had this crosshair for shotguns, not well, that's really cool to see. Some quality of life changes is really all we're asking for. That should be everything we can test. And I'm excited to see what they have cooking in the next patch. If you want me to cover that more in depth, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And of course, I'll see you all next time. Alright, peace out.